Hi, I'm Cynthia Schiller. Please like and subscribe where we help and heal one day at a time. We're going to talk about will they ever change? I'll tell you what, humans are creatures of habit. We definitely have kind of like an instinct to go back to what we're used to because we know it's safe. So if you grow up in a hometown, move away, a lot of times you'll come back, or if you go away to college, you come back to that area. Some of us are a little bit more adventurous, but overall, we really are creatures of habit, whether it's location or people that we know. Sometimes if we're lonely, instead of going out to find new people, we'll call some people who weren't really our favorite friends. It's a creature of habit. We know what's safe. We know we can call an okay friend instead of going to find our best friend that might be out there. Just habitual way that we react to certain things. It's a comfort. So is a narcissist ever going to change? They are definitely creatures of habit. They get used to uh, acting certain ways. You got to think about it too. They have an extra 10, 20 years on us on how to act right. Um, so they get stuck in acting the wrong way. So that's where they get the extra 10, 20 years of just being stuck in that pattern. We've moved on. We've learned how to react empathetically, how to make the best of situations, try to work through things, understand there's a give and take between two people, whether it's at work or at home or family life. But the narcissist, they're used to being way back over here, and it's been ingrained in them for all those extra years that that's how they get what they want. So are they going to change? They have that extra 10, 20 years of the way that they're acting, and it's harder to change the longer you continue to do something. Um, so just like kids with languages, they're really good at learning languages early on because they're not really used to it. It's only been a certain amount of time that they've learned language, which was their home language. As we get older, it's harder for our minds to go through certain things. We're just used to it. It's uncomfortable. We struggle a little bit more because we have a little bit more knowledge. Just a lot's going on in there to where it's harder to process languages. So the language of love, it's kind of like the narcissist, they got to be grown-ups now. And they haven't learned how to cross over into adulthood emotionally. So they're just creatures of habit. They'll try. It's just like they want, they have a desire to fill whatever need that they missed in childhood. Whether it's, the perfect family or the love that a mother or father would give, the cuddles, the, good nights or soothing. But when they get that, they feel smothered. It starts to get uncomfortable. Just like, let's say, I don't know, all of a sudden they just have this feeling that maybe if they would have been held by their mother when they were growing up, just snuggled all the time, that they would have been comforted. So let's say we gave them that, and they're going to push us away because it's not something they're used to. It's not something they're comfortable with. Just like deep conversations, trying to connect, see eye to eye. They've never seen eye to eye with someone. They just know what's within them, the frustrations that they have, and they can't look past that. Or sometimes if they do, it's too overwhelming for them. So they revert back to what's comfortable for them. But we see them as adults. We're trying to communicate. We're trying to understand them. We're trying to, get what we need, but give them what they need, the compromise. But they're not into compromise. It is like a childlike state when you look back. Trying to have conversations with them is next to impossible. They answer us, but they answer us in such a way that it confuses us. We live in an altered state of reality. And the discard that they give us is because of that altered reality, and also due to the knockdowns, because we probably were pretty close to what they envisioned. They didn't get to know us, so they don't even know if we meet their expectations because they knock us down so much. Just like, metaphorically, if you punch me in the face over and over again, I'm all bruised up, broken nose, chipped tooth, and then you're ugly. Well, you knocked me down. This is not who I am. I am as beautiful as I am, however you want to word it, if you think I'm pretty or not. But, let's say I'm beautiful. But with all those bruises and you keep knocking at me, um, as an analogy, you know, uh, you don't see the beauty in me anymore, but it's because of what you did to me. I had told my ex, I fought for us and did this and this and this. And I went through a war for us. And you see somebody battered and bruised. And I think the word's metaphorically. You see somebody battered and bruised because I went through something nobody else would go through. Even the person you're with right now would not have gone through it. And I got discarded based on all these promises, all these lies. And it's like, we didn't even get the chance to really begin what we were going to do, because you saw this battered and bruised person instead of taking it in as, that was so amazing. Somebody did that for me. Like nobody in the world would do that for me, but they don't look at it that way. They don't look at it as, I was so loved, or this person went above and beyond for me. They look at it as like, oh, I got ghosted after it too. It wasn't even like a kind goodbye or an irritated goodbye. Ghosted. They think they're dead. They can't even acknowledge, not necessarily the okay, pain of a breakup, but pain of you thinking somebody that you love is dead. Um, the narcissist, with their lack of empathy, will continue to destroy lives. It's really hard to understand how they can't process what their actions do. If they do start to reflect back, like, okay, I've lost these family members, okay, I've lost a couple friends, they start to see it. Um, but it's like, oh well, there's other people out there. And that's how they are in relationships. There's always other supplies, and based on some of the word patterns, with my second ex, he is with a new supply. Uh, I'm kind of wondering if I'll call you. Oops, I'll call you back. I'll call you back. It's my best friend. She keeps calling. But the word patterns that they use, it sounds like it is just a replacement, not something better, something good. Like he got lucky with her. Okay. But, there's outside fuel supplies with being with her. So it's not even he's comparing her and I. There's the outside, the friends, or the kids that she has. Mine's grown. The ego strokes, and they look at the supply. Just like, if I was, I don't know, a famous basketball player, I'm super tall. Let's say I was a famous basketball player. They would want to be with me because of my status. And if I wasn't on the team, they wouldn't want to be with me. They wouldn't even give me a second chance. That's what it's like with a narcissist. You bring me something that I'm attracted to, whether it's being a superstar basketball player, or sometimes they're, some people are attracted to somebody in uniform. It's the status that they're looking for. And you think about it, it's like, would they have been with this person if they didn't have that status? And when we put them up on a pedestal, they will always look down on us. So the more that we give them, the more they look down on us. It's just like, a superstar rock star. They look down on their fans. Some of them are kind of rude to their fans, where do this and I'll give you an autograph. All right. It's kind of a control thing, or they take advantage of them sexually. Like, this is easy. All I got to do is, yeah. And they take advantage. And that's what happens in the narcissistic relationship, is they take whatever they can get, because part of it is we put them on a pedestal, but they put us on a pedestal on purpose because we mirror each other, and then they knock us down. We're not knocking them down, so they stay on that pedestal. We're not tearing them apart. We're not calling them all these crazy names usually. Don't do that. That's not nice. But sometimes we do have that reactive abuse. Let's be real about it. Sometimes, you know, if you ever splurt something out, instead of calling them an asshole, you should tell them they're acting like one. A lot of times, you know, you shouldn't say these things to people, but usually we'll say it in a way that doesn't hurt them as much. We try to be careful on the way we talk to them, but they'll cut us down without even thinking. You know, it sucks calling somebody an asshole, but when you say you're acting like one, it's different than saying you are one. Um, their word patterns will infiltrate our minds, and start us thinking like, am I this? Why did they say that? Instead of us reflecting like, yeah, I was acting like an asshole, or like, man, I am an ass. It's a different mentality that we go through. They can be so damaging to us. So no contact is the most effective way to heal the quickest. That means cut everything off. Don't even let them look at your life, through Facebook or Instagram, whatever you guys like to do. Don't ever even give them that chance. Because if you're kind of down and out, they're going to take that and use it against you. If you're starting to move forward, they're going to try to tear it apart. Let's say you got into, I don't know, jazzercise. They're going to start making fun of you for that or something like that. So now you're self-conscious, you know, as opposed to this was something that was bringing me joy. It's getting me ahead in life. I'm healthier, doing something for myself. It's getting me out of the house. There's new friends I can make. They're going to still destroy your future, even though you're not with them. So cut them off. Um, don't take their phone calls. It's just a hoover to not see how you're doing. They might say, "Hey, I saw this post and I was thinking, you know," they just want to see what they can get. So they are such pathological liars. Sometimes their words are direct, like, "Oh, I'm proud of you. You're working out now," and they'll use that, whether it's like if they have sex, they'll be like, oh well, I'll be in that area at that time, can we meet up? Or they will use it somehow for their advantage. It has nothing to do with you, and that's where it is so hard, because we have done everything we could for them, but when we need somebody there, they might do it out of obligation so they don't lose their supply, but they're also going to resent us at the same time. And that's where the destruction, the devaluation comes in, to where it blindsides us. We're like, oh my gosh, you said you would take me to the doctors and now you hate me because of it. You know, they'll start throwing, oh, I had to take off time of work and now we can't go on vacation because you had to have knee surgery, and I had to take off a vacation date for that. And they start making you feel like crap, as opposed to, I know, baby, we can't, but you know, at least, you know, your knee's better. Um, they're just cold. They're cold, they're destructive, they're hurtful. Any communication with them, um, will end up bad. That day, maybe not. That day might feel really good to you, but it's going to be used against you in the end. And I have a really hard time with that. But looking back, some of you, if you've been in these really long relationships, please comment on some of the things you've gone through, because in the beginning, it's hard to see, or we overlook certain things. The longer we stay with them, the more they nitpick and eat away at us. They're taking little pieces of our soul or our reality with each, pretty much each sentence that they tell us. And it's like just little jabs. Just like if you were going to take a marker and put little, let's say, black or red dots on me, you can't really see it, right? And over time, if you did that for 20 years, I would be either all black or all red. And that's what they're doing to us. At first, you can't see it. You don't really notice it. You're like, did I see something? But over time, they will just totally change who you are to where you're unrecognizable anymore. So get out, get happy again, take time to care for yourself. It's going to take time. I have a grief video that kind of helps you understand what's going on with the grief process. Sometimes it's really painful. Also look at the brain damage one that I did. the longer you stay with them, the more physical brain damage that will happen. So that's my main one. Even not even promoting my channel for your health. Look at the brain damage one. Um, it's kind of staggering. Also, the depression that we go through causes brain damage, CPTSD, all these things. Um, how it infiltrates our life, our irritability, our destruction of our friendships, just because we're so sad. We don't want to do anything anymore. We snap at people or kind of are less social. Or just, just sometimes the depression, people don't come up to us because we're depressed. And that's when it gets hard, when you need somebody there for you. Um, the psychology on people is so interesting that people shy away when they should be there because it's uncomfortable for them. They don't always know what to say, but maybe you have a good friend. You can just kind of chill, watch a movie, or just kind of play some cards or something like that. But definitely don't isolate. You've already been isolated enough. You've been isolated from yourself. They took away who you were. Get back to knowing who you were, because I bet you're absolutely an amazing person. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.